Yeah, welcome back. Continuing my review of Cobra. Yeah, sorry this is going to third part. I ran out of battery power and I actually had to recharge. I had to put new batteries in. This camera, I'm getting used to this camera. It's new. I just got it today. Well, anyway, yeah, Stallone, he was going into, yeah, and when he crashes into the guy's car, the guy, like, gets out of the car and he's like, says something, and then, like, or something, and someone goes like, it's bad for your health, you know. And the guy goes like, what is pinche or pinche or something like that, and someone goes like, pinchy me. He pulls his shirt and he just like rips it off, rips his shirt off, and if you look closely, you can actually see a mic. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, it is. It's a mic. You can literally see a mic. Like, it was a mess up when they were filming. And he goes like, clean up your act. This guy end up just yells something. He says like, something pinchy alto or something. I don't know. He said something. I think he's speaking Spanish. I don't know. I don't understand Spanish. I only speak English. And well, Sony like then goes up to his apartment. You see this giant Pepsi sign. I kind of actually like seeing like all the like Pepsi logos and Coke logos and stuff like that, and I actually like seeing the old logos and aesthetics for different companies and stuff. I actually like that. I just think it's really cool because it's kind of like, wow, so that's what the old Pepsi logo used to look like or something, you know? It's like, and like how much it's changed since then. You know, some of it, it changed too much. So he goes into his apartment, and song going on. It's like, working too hard, trying to make a living, hustling all day, I can take, trying to get away, and easy money. Something like that. And it's a good song, I think. Still on. He goes into his apartment, unlocks it, and beforehand he has this paper he had, I think, his pocket or something he's holding on to, and he puts it on like a grill for some reason and closes it. I don't know what that was about. He goes in, unlocks his apartment, and he goes over to like his freezer, and he apparently like he has like an egg carton. He puts like stuff for his gun to clean it, I guess, something, and he has a small pizza box, and he has like one slice of pizza in there, and he takes the stuff out to clean his gun and to have some stuff, have some supper, or maybe it was more of a I'd say it was more of a light snack than anything else. I don't know, maybe he's a bit lactose intolerant or something, and I don't know, I'm just guessing. And he takes a pair of scissors for some reason, and he literally just cuts off a small piece, like probably like this big or something, like, I don't know if you can see on this camera, it's probably like this big or something like that, and it's like, that's all he's gonna eat? It's like, okay, and then he just like, he's doing something with his gun, like cleaning it or something, and he turns on the TV, takes a moment and just like turns on the TV, and it's like, I noticed the background on the TV when it gets to the news after this Toys R Us commercial, which is kind of silly. Like, it supposedly, this film, I think, takes place around the holidays, even though it was released in May around Memorial Day. So I don't know. It never says Merry Christmas or anything, or Happy Holidays. Like, nobody actually says it, which I'm glad. Only because of the fact that it's like, I don't want to think of it as a Christmas film. It's all because it's something that I like to think about all year round. I don't like when they did that in Die Hard, where they clearly addressed that it was Christmas, saying like, "Oh, Merry Christmas" and stuff like that. When it was like a summer movie and it's an action film, like a Christmas film, I like to have it be completely separate, and I like to have an action film be separate from a Christmas film. Pretty much, that's just me. I'm not offended by Christmas at all. I like to hear Merry Christmas from people around Christmas time. But I just basically like to think about Christmas when it's like around a couple weeks before Christmas, December, you know. Anyway, I mean, is all that. That's all. So he's watching the news and comes on. It's like doo, and this one's like tonight or something. Top story, something like the Night Slasher or something strikes again or something, and so when he takes the shades off and we finally see his eyes, it's like, wow, we actually see his face now. It was like probably like 15-20 minutes into the film or something. And he's just kind of watching the news, and they're talking on the news. The woman's talking on the news. It was a woman news anchor. And it said something like, yeah, and Stallone all of a sudden, like, hears him say something like, they can come through windows, and they're known to come through windows, and they've like sexually assaulted like a child or something, and these people are really sick in the head. These people that are doing this stuff, it's like, oh my gosh, these people need to die. I mean, like, well, I don't know about, well, they need to go to jail, probably get the death penalty and stuff, and you could say Stallone ends up giving the guy death penalty at the main major bad guy death penalty at the end, you could say, and he kind of deserved it. Say that. Well, yeah, so he's hearing the stuff, and like, all of a sudden, I think he's like, kind of thinking like, well, I better defend myself, so he like loads his gun or something, just kind of looks around like this, something like that, and then all of a sudden it cuts, and all of a sudden we see what happens to be the Night Slasher, played by Brian Thompson, who you might know as the alien bounty hunter from X-Files, which he's very known for. I haven't seen that series in a long time. But I gotta say, that series, the intro is so freaky to me. So I think it's freaky to just about everybody. Anyway, so yeah, so Brian Thompson as the Night Slasher, and apparently he has a girlfriend or a friend. I guess it's a girlfriend. Or it's his wife. I don't know which. Or a fiance, something, whatever. And they're in this van, this blue van. It's nighttime, and they're driving kind of slowly, and then they end up going like near like a parking lot, and there's this lady. She's like walking out. This thin blonde lady. She's like walking out of this place. I think it's called like Mugs Up. It's like a coffee shop or something. It's supposed to be in like LA. It takes place in, but I think they shot it in like Seattle or something, I heard. Well, yeah, she walks out and she sees them like kind of stop, and she's just kind of like nervous, and she like runs to her car, and she's like gets her keys, and she gets into the car, and then all of a sudden like she shuts the door, and then all of a sudden like she tries starting up the car, and then all of a sudden like see the Night Slasher and his wife, like all of a sudden they're right up to the windows and stuff, and then all of a sudden they just like start like wrecking the car with like the axe and like a jackhammer or a sledgehammer or something, and like they like break the window or something, and then all of a sudden like see this like slow motion shot, all of a sudden she's like, oh, or something like that, and then basically all of a sudden we see this like slow motion shot where it's like or something like that, and she's like, something like, or something like that, and all of a sudden we just see a knife just go, and it's just like, see the facial expression of the guy, and just like, stabs the girl, and it's just like, whoa. We don't see like the actual stabbing, so I don't know what they could have been stabbing into anything, which I actually kind of like personally that they don't show the blood and gore in this, because well, for the thing, I don't really care for blood and gore so much. Maybe it's because sometimes like in Rambo, like Rambo 4 from 2008, Rambo, I gotta say they use like all the blood was like CGI, and it just looked ridiculous to me, and it just didn't look that good. First time seeing it, I thought it was really good. It was kind of scary at first, the first time seeing it. Um, but after that, like it was just, you know, so I saw it a second or third time, and I'm just like, oh man, I'm not buying this. Like the blood, I could just tell it was fake, like it was all computer. I'd rather see like actual like fake blood. Is what I'd rather use. Even if they use like, I don't know about ketchup, because then that would be too obvious. Like something that looks a lot like blood, like, or something that is not like computer generated if they can, or something, because it just would look more realistic. Since they didn't show any blood, it was like, okay. And after that, it cuts, and I think it was around there that we finally see Bridget Nielsen's character, who her name is Ingrid Knudsen or Knudsen or something, and like something about that. It's kind of funny about that, how it's like Knudsen or Knudsen. She poses. She's a model. She doesn't pose nude in the film. She poses in like some like bathing suit or lingerie or something. She's blonde, and those of you who don't know who that is, I think she did a show with like Flavor Flav about a decade or so ago or something on MTV or something, or VH1. Yeah, I think it was VH1. She's driving, well, I think it was like a Jeep, something like a Jeep Cherokee or something, some kind of Jeep. And there's a song going on in the car. It's like, hold on to your vision. You gotta hold on to your vision. And then all of a sudden, like, the song goes like, boom. All of a sudden, she just kind of looks over and she sees Night Slasher, and he just like looks at her like, it's like really creepy look, and she just like gets kind of scared, and she just like drives off, and his girlfriend just kind of goes, she's like, get the license plate, and he just like looks like he just stares off where the car is going. She's just kind of, I think she may have looked back or something. When she was driving, she was nervous, and she was just driving off. And they had like, it was like another person. The lady they killed, they like putting her in like the back seat of the truck or something, the van or whatever. And when then after that, I think the scene switches. If I can remember, I haven't seen this film since probably like December. Then like it switches to, I think, like a hospital or a police department or something, and Stone as Cobra is there, and a couple other cops saying like, Soul City's turned into a battlefield, something like that. And Cobra goes like, there's more than just one something, and Monty, I think it goes like, hey, this isn't your specialty, okay? Something like that. And Rini Santoni, I think is his name, whoever the guy's name is who plays Gonzalez, just kind of looks at him like, something like that, like thinking like, this guy is insane or something, or this guy's just a jerk, he doesn't know what the heck he's thinking, probably. It's like, well, I don't know. Uh, and, well, and Stallone, he just kind of ends up going like, we're not up against one man, we're up against armored killers, I keep telling you guys that. Something like that, or maybe that was later in the film. Well, eventually, then, we see Bridget Nielsen modeling, and there's this like pretty cool like song. It's almost like a music video, like an old like an MTV music video. It feels like kind of. It's kind of cool. It's like an old montage, like like in Rocky IV. If you ever seen that, if you haven't, I'd recommend it. I think all the Rockies are great. Rocky 1 through 6, and Rocky 1 through 5, Rocky Balboa, and then I would suggest checking out Creed as well. You haven't seen that yet. That's good. That's a good film, I think. Paul Creed's son. It's supposed to be, I think it's a pretty cool movie. Some people don't like it. Some people like it. So it's a 50-50 chance if you like it or not. And so all of a sudden she's modeling, and then she's done modeling, and there's all these like robots around and stuff, and like see, and they're kind of fun. They're kind of weird looking. They're like all these like 80s robots or something, and then like I think the scene switches or something, and she's with this guy that was taking pictures for her and stuff, and yeah, so she's with this guy that's taking pictures for her, and they're talking a little bit, and there's a police officer who was like, do you want me to walk you out or something like that? And he's like, and the other guy's like, nah, I'll take care of it or something, or nah, she'll be fine, she's over there, something like that, like the car or whatever. So as they're going to the car, they're talking, and then we see, I'm not sure if it was the Night Slasher or if it was like some other guy, but there was some guy with like an axe or something, and or a sledgehammer. I think there was like 3 people or something like that, 3 bad guys, and they're all of a sudden like they're like being real sneaky. They're sneaking around and stuff, and it's kind of like a horror overtone, something. I don't watch horror movies, but I think this is kind of cool what they did, the way they did this. I'd say George P. Cosmatos did a good job on this. I'd say this film is really, I think I agree with Rainbow Afterlife that this film is pretty underrated, I think. I actually prefer this over Die Hard. I'm not really too into Die Hard. They talk like a ton. I don't like a lot of talking in an action film. It's like, I just want to say, it's like, oh gosh, shut the heck up. It's like, oh gosh, shut up. Just frickin' act. Just frickin' do action. Or something. I don't like all these like silly jokes and stuff. It's ridiculous. Something like, it's like, yeah, I know I'm into Bond and stuff, and they say different silly jokes and stuff, but, and sometimes they talk a lot, but, like, some of them, they don't talk as much, and the action's more intense, and in this film, like, the action's intense, and, well, yeah, and, at one point, like, Bridget Nielsen, the guy, they get to the car. I'm just gonna take a look at the camera for a second. Okay, just checking my battery life. So they get to the car, and guy goes and says something like, "So you do need me," or something. And all of a sudden we see behind him one of the killers, and she's like, "Get down!" She's like, "Get down!" or something. And all of a sudden the guy gets like axed or something like that, and like hurt or something. The lady, she's running away or something like that. And all of a sudden there's this other guy, and he's like carrying something or something like it, and he's got glass on, and his glasses fall. and you see him like ride off, and then like it's like dun 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 dun. It's like called "Voice of American Son." There's a song that's kind of, I would have preferred a different tune, sort of, in a way, but in a way, the tune's kind of good, because it's kind of, like, almost calming in a way, because, like, the movie is just so intense, or at least I feel that way, and we see the credits, and it's like, and it's over. It's not super long, it's kind of a short film, it's about 87 minutes, most likely because it's heavily cut. The original cut was, like, well over 2 hours, I heard. And so the movie like ends, and eventually at the end of the movie, I think it's kind of cool. At the end of the credits, it just says Cobra. Says the name of the movie, Cobra, which I think is really cool. It reminds me of like sometimes like at the end of James Bond films, it always says, sometimes it'll say the name of the film, or something like GoldenEye. It'll say GoldenEye and United Artists or something like that. And it'll say like James Bond will return. It's kind of like that, how it just goes like Cobra, something like that, and just fades to black or something, and just like kind of goes to like maybe the Warner Brothers logo. New Warner Brothers logo or the old one, might depend on what you're watching on, a DVD, Blu-ray, television, whatever, videotape, whatever. I would recommend this film. It's only got, I think it's like a 5.5 or something, or maybe not even that on IMDb, if you check. And yeah, I would say of the Stallone films, this is one of my top favorite Stallone films. I don't know if it's my favorite Stallone film, but it's definitely my favorite action film of Stallone, starring Stallone, and it's definitely one of my favorite action films of the 80s. But I don't think I can say it's my favorite action film of the 80s, because I'm really into James Bond. So I gotta go with License to Kill 007. I think I'll review that someday. So I got this camera now, I can do movie reviews and stuff. I think I'll eventually review that someday. Don't look for it anytime soon. Don't pressure me, please. I'll just do it on my own time when I feel like. I don't think I'm going to take any requests from anybody. Not right now. I'm not taking any requests, most likely at all. But I'm thinking, like, if anybody wants me to review anything to do with the X Games, you know, like X Games, the movie, or if anybody wants me to review Ultimate X, or an X Games event that took place in the past, because I'm really into skateboarding and BMX. I love those sports. I've grown up skateboarding. I used to skateboard a ton growing up. This is pretty much the end of the movie review. So I guess you can turn this off now if you want. Like, yeah, I'm really into skateboarding, so I might do some reviews, like, concerning, like, X Games and the Dew Tour and maybe, like, some other events. Probably not Street League, because I don't really go for Street League, because they just don't skate much of anything that looks that big to me for obstacles. So I'm not really into Street League. I don't even really look forward to that much. I'm into, like, but basically I really love skateboard big air at the X Games, BMX big air. I liked the Rail Jam event they had a couple years in a row. That was cool, I thought. As well as I like skateboard BMX big air doubles. That was a cool event they had last year. I thought at X Games, which I believe is returning this year. I wonder why. I don't know why they took out rally car racing and off-road truck racing and Enduro X, but personally, I'm actually glad they took that out, because as a long-time X Games fan and skateboarding fan and BMX fan, and I used to really be into watching freestyle motocross years ago as well. I kind of feel that those other sports, rally car and truck racing and enduro cross, men's and women's, doesn't really belong. So they're not doing any tricks, you know? They're not doing any tricks. Like, if they were doing, like, flips in the car, like they were like back flipping, front flipping, side flipping, barrel rolling, and stuff like that. Doing 360s, 720s in the air and like midair. If they're doing that, then I'd be like, yeah, okay. And if they're doing the same thing as Endurocross, I'd say, yeah, okay, leave it in, because that's pretty awesome. But they're just cruising around, basically, and like going over rocks and stuff. I don't really go for that too much. I mean, it was kind of fun to watch at first, Endurocross, when it first came on, it was kind of fun to watch, but it's kind of, eh. That's just me. Well, I guess I'll wrap it up. Again, this is Josh Monty, or multi-James Bond fan. In case you notice any of my posters, it's a poster. I don't know how well you can. I don't know if you can even see it. Right here, it's this. I don't know if you can see it that well. Let me see if I can zoom out a bit. Can't really zoom out, but yeah, there's some chicks on this poster. I got this about 5 years ago. So, some of these chicks are pretty hot, I think. A lot of them are pretty hot, I think. But this one here, in case you notice, this one's a lingerie model. I don't even know what her name is. Yeah, it happens to be the month of April. It's April 16th, by the way. Yeah, it's April 16th, 2016. That's the date that I happen to be making this video. Other movies that I think I may review someday that I'd like to review, I'd say this movie right here. I'm not sure if you can see it, but it's Commando. I'm gonna show it right here. I found this action figure. It's like this 30th anniversary edition at this FYE store that was closing. It's pretty cool. How well, I'm not sure how well, I'm trying to see. Probably can't see it that well, but it's, whoever made this did a really good job on it. It's this 30th anniversary like action figure. I'm a big fan of that film, Commando. I think it's pretty cool. It's kind of, I think it's kind of similar to Cobra, and it's like a James Bond film with a lot of action as well. That's another film I'd recommend checking out. I'm also really into The Simpsons. You can see I got like shirt here, and so I don't know if you can even see it. So let's see if I can pull it up.